going to want to have handy are some blocks. If you don't have blocks, you just use books. Also a bolster. If you don't have a bolster, you just roll up a blanket, or you can use some pillows, or get really creative, as I know some of you have already been doing. And we're going to start in a position which feels good for you. So you can either be easy seated, you can be, what's nice actually is if anyone's got any of these bad boys to sit on, these are really, really, really nice because they allow you to just feel quite buoyant. Or you can use a chair, so just wherever you can sit tall. Just tip you down a bit again. And just start by rolling the shoulders a little bit, maybe closing the eyes. So our theme today for our practice, I'd like us to not work really hard, but just pay a little bit of attention to working on trusting our bodies and what they're capable of doing. So resting your hands where they rest comfortably. That could be at your legs, that could be on top of baby right now. Just wherever feels good for you, wherever, without even thinking of it, they just land. And as you are right now, start coming into your breath. Maybe counting in for your own count of 4 and then out for 8. Your body is your tool in pregnancy, and it requires a lot of faith along this journey of your pregnancy. Pregnancy is a beautiful journey that allows you to be in your body in a new way, especially if this is your first pregnancy. And if it's not your first, from what I hear, pregnancies vary, and they can vary a lot from one child to another. The act of growing a human being requires a lot of trust in your body. Trust that your body will be able to house this life, to give it all of the nutrients it needs to thrive. Also the strength to endure labour. And even if some thoughts and some of these thoughts bring up some doubt or inadequacy within yourself, know that that's completely human. It's part of the experience. It's this feeling of being really, really excited, but also that slight feeling of angst, which is completely natural. Always come back to the fact that we've been doing this as women giving birth since the beginning of time. It's something that your body knows how to do. Pregnancy is something that our bodies do without thinking about. It's truly a miracle. Nature is a miracle. So if you do ever get overwhelmed with feelings of doubt or those inadequacies, maybe you feel a lack of trust, just come back to that fact. Come back to reminding yourself that you are exactly where you need to be right now. You are incredible. Your baby is thriving. You are not alone in this journey. It's you and your baby. Spending a few minutes in a meditation that is deeply rooted in trust, we can slow down, we can allow ourselves to observe and feel and simply be. We can connect to our intuition, which is present in all of us right now. Sometimes it takes practice. It takes practice to slow down and to become really, truly in tune with it, with our intuition. So let's use a meditation technique which focuses on a mantra linked with the breath. So start by placing hands on your tummy. If your arms are uncomfortable, just simply relax them down. Possibly feeling some gentle movements underneath your hands, a reminder that there is life thriving within your body. Your body is an incredible being, and it's an incredible strong machine. So we choose a mantra of our own choice, and some suggestions, especially if you're having some trouble with or having a hard time with that trust. We can use on the inhale repeating I am, and on the exhale repeating trust. On the inhale repeat I am, on the exhale repeat strong. On the inhale repeat we are, on the exhale repeat healthy. On the inhale repeat we are, on the exhale repeat love. And if there's a mantra that you resonate with more, just to sit in trust, use that with your breath without changing the pattern of breath, any other thoughts or distractions. When you acknowledge them, just bring yourself back to your mantra. And slowly and softly allow the hands to rest in the lap and breathe here, repeating your mantra. So just knowing that this practice isn't limited to your meditation. As you continue your day activities, you continue on your journey through pregnancy, as you approach your labour, and when you're in labour and after your child arrives. This mantra, just repeating I am on your inhale and exhaling trust, strong, healthy, love. These mantras can help you continue faith that your body and that you are strong enough. So let's make our way onto our hands and our knees. So the way we're going to do this, if you're easy seated, just going to keep the knees together, take the feet over to one side and come onto your hands and knees. If you're laying down, just come onto your, just lift up from your left and wrist niggles. So Susanna, if you've got blocks or books, you can use your forearms on the blocks here. Have Make sure it is sturdy though, so you're not going to kind of wobble off. Or you can come onto fists. Or another thing, if you do want to give it a go, just see how it feels. Maybe actually taking the hands a little bit further away so that you can push into the fingers a little bit more so the hands aren't directly underneath the shoulders. That's another option for you. Just have a little play around with that and see how that feels. So just going to do a little bit of rotation through the hips. Hugging your baby in, and so Marie Brown, if you're feeling really heavy here with your tummy, sometimes it can be nice to use a scarf or some sort of support around baby if you feel that you are getting a little bit heavier for comfort. But if this feels good, you just keep it without using the support. And actively just hug your baby in a little bit here as well, just to keep that connection through the core. So just freeing up that space. Really nice and gentle. And this is a great one to do. I mean, I can't speak of from experience, but this is a really good one for when you are in labour, when you're having contractions as well. Use a soothing breath as well. Long exhales, deep inhales. And let's go the other way. See if this change in direction feels different on the body, physically, emotionally. You would have most likely started circling around in your most dominant way, so this might feel a little bit more alien. Lovely. Okay, let's find some stillness. And we're just going to rock from side to side. So knees underneath the hips, as I said before, and at any point if you need to roll the wrists out, you can. We're going to just rock to towards our right knee, and then we're going to look back towards our left foot. And then rock to our left knee and look back to the right foot. And just rocking from side to side. Maybe you want to get the shoulders into this a little bit as well. So what we're doing is, for example, if you're looking to your left foot, you're getting a stretch down the right side of the body. And if you're looking to the right, you're getting a stretch down the left. So this should be feeling especially good if you are feeling quite a little bit crammed up top as the internal organs move up a little bit to make way for your growing baby. Just helping to create a bit more space through the ribs, the side body. And then we can start taking some circles through the torso. So we're going to go round like a barrel movement. Lifting the tail, not arching the back too much. The body's already doing enough of that on its own. And let's go the other way. Awesome. And let's give those shoulders a break. So we're going to sit back either in child's pose or puppy dog pose. Yeah, or alternatively, if you've got a chair close by or one of these Swiss balls, you can rest here as well. And you can just take a rock side to side wherever you are and just close the eyes. Give the wrists a roll. Maybe the fingers a scrunch, open and close. Okay, from here, let's sit back on our heels. So use pillow, blocks, cushions, anything that you can get hold of, and pop this. I'll just face this way so you can see me. Literally just between the heels, so you can sit your bum on top, so there's no added pressure to the knees, to the joints, the hips, or alternatively just come onto your bottom on a cushion instead if that feels better for your knees. So we're just gonna have the hands on the thighs or wherever they can rest comfortably. Take a breath in and lift the heart, drawing the shoulder blades down the back. We're not arching the back, so we're not sticking the bum out. We're just growing upwards. And as you breathe out, round through the back, hug your baby in and just gaze down towards baby. Breathe in and lift up through the heart. Shoulder blades are drawing down the back. We're growing through the spine. And we're breathing out. 3 more. Inhale to lift. Exhale. 2 more. Inhale to lift. Exhale. Last one. And then come back nice and tall. Hands are going to come onto the shoulders. And we're just going to roll the shoulders. So swelling in the hands and the wrists, this should be a good one for you. Obviously, make sure you are comfortable in the legs where you're sat, especially if you are retaining a lot of water. And let's go the other way. And if you're feeling up to it, see if you can take the arms opposite directions. Awesome. Okay, let's come back onto our hands and our knees. And just take the right foot away and just give the ankle a roll. Hugging baby in. Remember, wrist wiggles, you can come up onto fists. You can take forearms instead. Just make sure you're comfy. You can also, if you're close to a wall, you can use a wall in front of you for support as well. And let's swap legs. So take the left foot behind. Awesome, and just circling the ankle, getting some clicks and clacks. Cool. All right, so nice active hands here. So fingers are spread out. Obviously, if you're on fists, don't worry about it. But fingers are spread and actively lift through the palms of the hands. So if you've got maybe a blueberry in the palm of the hand, you don't want to squish it, just to take some pressure off the wrists. We're going to take the right leg back and place the right foot flat onto the floor. And we're going to take the left foot, so your foot of the leg that's bent, is going to open out sideways a little bit. And this is where, Susanna, have your blocks support near you. And you're going to pop your forearm on the blocks here. We can all do this as well if it feels better. And we're just going to lift the right arm up and find length down that right side of the waist, hugging baby in. And taking adjustments so that you are comfortable, that you feel safe, and that you can trust your body, because we're here for 5 breaths. You can come out of it at any point. You can maybe take some arm circles if you like. Here's 4. And 5. And release down, hands and knees. Take a rock side to side. And I'm going to take the left foot back this time. Flatten the left foot onto the floor. Open your right foot out slightly. Hand, knee and foot want to be more or less in the same line, but everyone's different, so if you feel more stable kind of separating it out, then do that. And take 5 breaths. Hug baby in, be mindful not to puff the chest. Here's 1. 2. 3. 4. 5. And release down, hands and knees. And let's take ourselves into a puppy dog pose. So hands walk forward, gazing back towards your knees or to your baby. You can't see your knees at the moment. And hug it all in. Now, if you're feeling up to a downward facing dog, by all means go for it. So, Marie Woodward, you can take down dog before 22 weeks, like super duper safely, if that feels okay. And anyone else, you're welcome to do it as long as you feel safe to do it. If baby has already turned though, maybe just stick with puppy dog. And take a rock side to side. So where you're breathing here, I'd like you to think about breathing into the back space of the ribs. So the further along you get through your pregnancy, you might notice you getting a little bit more short of breath. And that will be due to, I mean, you guys will know this already, but be due to the organs are just lifting up, as I said before, they're creating space for baby to grow in the womb. That can mean it gets a little bit tight in the chest. So it's a great way just to breathe into the back body. So much of our lungs and our lung capacity is there. Awesome. Let's start just lifting the head. And on our hands and knees, we're just going to walk the hands back towards the knees. Tucking the toes but behind us. Set the soles of the feet onto the floor. Using your blocks underneath your hands if you need to here, to take a forward fold. So resting where you feel safe, where you feel comfortable. You can use a chair underneath your hands instead. You can maybe bring your hands onto your thighs. But just let it all hang out. Maybe take some of those nice hip rolls here as well. Awesome. And let's go the other way if you're taking circles. Awesome. All right, hands onto the thighs if they're not there already. Deep breath in, round through the back, hug baby in. Breathe out, release the tail, reaching the heart forward, just taking your gaze forward and up a little bit without craning the neck. And then we're going to roll vertebra by vertebra up through the body. I'm sorry, my head's going to disappear. And then just reach the arms all the way up. Deep breath in. And then breathe out, guide your hands back through prayer to your heart space. Cool. All right, so our sun salute here. If you want, if you've got a chair close by you, if standing is feeling too much for you right now, have a chair at the back of your mat, or you can use a Swiss ball. Okay, so you've got that option. Instead of when we do the standing work, you just be here and then we come onto the mat from there. Okay. So, are we all on chairs actually? Because if we're all on chairs, we're all on chairs. I'll use a chair as well. Cool. Awesome. All right. So feet are stable on the floor. This is for today our mountain pose. So obviously we're not stood up. So maybe have the arms out to the sides, palms facing forward. And you're growing and you're feeling tingling through the toes. Maybe you give the toes a wiggle. You can feel each and every toe securely supported by the earth. The inner arches of the feet are lifting, so just like we did with our hands, imagining there's a blueberry in between or underneath the soles of the feet. We don't want to squish them. And we're growing, finding length through the side waist without puffing the chest. And let's take a deep breath in, reach the arms up. And as you breathe out, guide your right arm down, left arm is reaching up. Inhale, lift both arms. Exhale, reach the right arm. Awesome. Inhale and lift. Exhale. Inhale and lift. Exhale. One more round. Cool. And then both arms lift up. Deep breath in. And as you breathe out, you're going to bring the hands down onto your thighs, walk the hands down the legs, opening the knees as much as you need to create space for baby. And then we're going to walk forward onto our hands and our knees. Pop that out of the way. Take the right leg back, lift it up, take a deep breath in, point the toes. And as you breathe out, guide your right foot towards the outside of your right hand. More or less. So both feet, both legs are on a 90-degree angle. Face this way so you can actually see my legs. So 90-degree angle. You can use blocks underneath your hands or come onto your fingertips. Even if you haven't got wrist niggles, sometimes it feels a lot better, especially if you're feeling quite heavy through the front, just to lift up. And let's take some circles around with those hips once again. Creating space, pelvis. Hopefully releasing any tension through the lower back. Also getting an opening through the hamstrings and the hip flexors. Okay. From here, stay nice and still. You're going to bring the right hand onto the right thigh and we're going to lift up, just tucking the tail but not over tucking. You should be feeling a stretch down the front of your left thigh in your left hip flexor. Right hand is onto baby. Lift the left arm up, take a breath in and breathe out. Just reach over with that left arm to the top right corner of the room. Inhale back to center. Exhale, reach over again. Inhale. Remember, trusting your body to tell you where your limit is. Come back to center. And I'm going to reach the left arm back and the right arm is going to reach forward. I'm going to look over the back arm. And we're going to inhale, lift the arms up as you face the body to the front of your mat. Exhale, open out to the left. Maybe look over your left arm if it's okay on the neck. Inhale and lift. Strong legs. So as you're doing this, we're squeezing the right heel towards the left knee. We're keeping the pelvic floor lifted. And we're flowing with the breath. Lovely. Let's do one more round. And then as you breathe out, bring the right hand onto the right thigh, left hand either onto a block or to the floor. Right hand down, and then peel the right foot up and gently take it back, hands and knees, rock side to side. So you've got the option to take 3 cat-cows here. So the cat-cow is this one, like that. Or we can come forward into 3 mini chaturangas. So walking the hands forward a little bit, keeping the elbows. We're going to bend the elbows back towards the ribs for three times, coming down at absolute most halfway. So inhale to lower, exhale. Inhale to lower, Exhale. Inhale to lower. Exhale. And coming back. Using blocks, maybe onto your fists. Take the left leg back. Lift it up, deep breath in, really point the toes, find the length. And as you breathe out, guide the left foot forward. If it gets stuck halfway, use that left hand and just, as I always say, just shove it on through up to the top of your mat. Fingertips or blocks. Make sure you've got that nice open space to breathe and take some circles. Doesn't matter what direction. Awesome, and the other way. And find some stillness. So both legs, remember, 90-degree angle. Left hand onto the left thigh, lifting up, tucking the tail, lifting through this right leg as well. So the back foot is still active, so we're also pushing through the top of the back foot so that not all of the weight is going through the knee. Left hand to baby, right arm lifts up, take a breath in. Breathe out, gentle reach to the side, hug in here. Ribs are down. Inhale. Exhale. Nice. One more. Coming back to center, reaching that right arm back, left arm forward. Either looking to the right or looking over your right arm, if it feels okay. Inhale to lift up, face the body and face the eye gaze forward. And as you exhale, open out. Really feel the heart broadening, the chest opening. And we're squeezing the front heel to the back knee. So we've got that pelvic stability. Two more. Lovely, last one. And then slowly, left hand onto the left thigh, right hand down onto the block or onto the floor. And then left hand comes down, left leg goes back and take a rock side to side. Option, you can take down dog, you can take child's pose or puppy dog pose, whatever you know is safe for your body. You can do none of those and give the legs shake out. Just 5 breaths of some intuitive movement, constructive rest. Okay, cool. Let's tap those toes once again. Walk the hands back towards the knees. And then we're going to set the soles of the feet on the floor. Walk the hands up to the thighs. There's no rush, remember, so just take your time. Rock from side to side. Breathing in, rounding through the back. Breathe out, release. And let's roll up. Coming up to standing. Reach the arms, deep breath in. Hands free prayer. I'm sorry that my head is chopped off from the screen again. Okay, so if you are uncomfortable standing, remember you can sit for this next bit. I'm going to do some warrior 2 work. So I'll go through seated in case you're feeling like you want to do it all seated, but I'll also show you the standing. So seated, maybe in the middle of your mat, so you're facing the long side of your mat. I'm going to come into warrior 2. So we're going to start with the right leg. So right leg is out, and just be mindful if you've got any pelvic girdle pain, any just pain in the pelvis at all, you might just want to do the arms separately for this one, just so we can keep the knees in elbow. So taking the right leg out to the side, and then the left leg is opening. So we're not, the feet are not quite lining up with each other. And we're just going to reach the arms out here. So here is our warrior two. We've got our left leg straight and the right leg bent. Option for standing. Oh, I really need to pump that ball up. It feels like it's going to give way. Option for standing. Feet again are not on the same line. So your right foot, your left foot are wider apart, and you're reaching the arms out to the side. Exactly the same, either seated or standing, hugging baby in and lifting through the pelvic floor. And you're also making sure those toes are active as well. So give the toes a wiggle on the floor, lifting through the inner arches of the feet. See if you can squeeze the heels towards one another, but push the toes outwards. Breathe. Okay, from here, straightening out the legs. Right hand comes onto the right thigh. I'm just going to face this way. I'll face this way so you can see me. So from our warrior two, both legs are straight, right hand onto the right thigh, left arm lifts up, we take a triangle pose. So we're not coming all the way down, unless you feel comfortable to. There's not too much weight in your front. You can use a block and lift up here. But this is all about grounding, trusting your body and feeling the stability of your body where it is now. Hugging baby in, lifting from the ground upwards. Bend into that right knee and then lift yourself all the way up. Let's swap sides. So we're going to toe heel the feet towards each other, and then you're going to take your left leg out to the side. Right leg opens out, your toe heeling this left foot to the edge of your mat, so your feet aren't crossing. So if I'm facing you, your feet are more like this for a warrior two. So my ankles aren't lining up with one another. So right leg is straight, imagining you're lifting up also through that right kneecap. You're feeling the energy down the outside of that right foot, really, really strong, fired up legs on the earth. Soft torso. Strong arms. 2 more breaths. Remember that mantra. Straighten the left leg, left hand to the left thigh, right arm lifts up. So you can just keep the arm lifted, you don't have to tip forward. And 1 more breath. Bend into that left knee a little bit, push through the feet, and then lift yourself back up. Awesome. Let's toe heel the feet towards each other now, and come to the backs of our mats. Hands on the hips or hands to baby. I'm just going to roll the ankles a little bit. If this feels better to do it sat down, especially if you're quite swollen through the feet already, just take the weight off your feet and just take a seat and roll the ankles instead. And let's go the other way. Okay, cool. So either seated or standing. Reach the arms up, take a deep breath in, keep the ribs down. Breathe out, hands come down to the thighs. Take a breath in to round through the back, hug baby in, take a little glance to them. And then breathe out, walking the hands down the legs, and then making your way onto your hands and your knees. And take some rest here as we get down, so you can come into that child's pose, puppy dog pose. Wherever you feel good. Maybe you want to be here and roll the ankles. Awesome. Okay, make our way onto our bottoms. So have your cushion near you, so behind you on your bum or a block. So keeping the knees narrow, feet over to one side, hands over to the other, and then we just set our bottom onto a block, a book, a cushion, or whatever. Nice and comfy. Open the legs out to mat's width apart. And we're going to bend the right knee in where it feels comfortable. Now this is where you also want to use, this is where I have all my props and then I move them around and they're nowhere near me. So take your time whilst you're getting what you need. Have something to support your right thigh. So we're not overextending, because you may already be feeling a lot more flexible. So your body might not be telling you right now where you're kind of pushing beyond your body's limit because of the relaxants. We just want to keep it reined in. And your left leg, as I said, is out on a slight diagonal, but not too wide. We're going to keep the left hand down either at the thigh or the shin. Right arm lifts up, take a breath in. And as you breathe out, bend the left elbow and reach sideways. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, release that right hand down. Again, inhale, reach the right arm up. Exhale, reach sideways. Maybe look in towards your right armpit. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, release down. Now, if you feel like you'd like to speed it up, you can. Just flowing the breath, equal breath. You can maybe find a spot that feels really good and you actually want to hold it because you're like, oh, I don't want to move out of this. It feels really good. And that's fine. Last one, so last round. Awesome. And then we're going to turn towards our left leg. Hands are going to be either side of the left leg and we're going to flex the left foot. So obviously we've got baby in the mix here. So for some of you, you won't be able to kind of fold forward, and we do want to avoid just compressing onto the belly. So instead of taking a forward fold, lift the crown upwards and see if you can flex that left foot a little bit more, and actively imagine you're kind of pulling your left hip backwards as your heart reaches forwards. Take 3 breaths. And then slowly start walking the hands back. And give the leg a little shake out. And we're going to swap sides. So we're going to straighten the right leg out first. And then bend the left knee in. Assist it through, of course, if you need to. Block or support underneath your left leg. Right hand to the thigh or the shin. Left arm lifts up on an inhale, flexing the right foot. Exhale, reach sideways, gaze in towards the armpit, or underneath the shoulder is a nicer way to put it. Inhale to left, exhale, release down. Inhale it. Exhale. And take 5 or 6 more rounds of this at your own pace. One more round. And then bring both hands either side of that right leg. Blocks if you need them. Flex the right foot. Lift and grow. Hug baby in a little bit. And then as you breathe out, fold forward a little bit, but actively start drawing your right hip back as your heart reaches forward. Toes of this right foot are active. Be mindful not to lock the knee as well, so keep the knee nice and soft. Just breathe. And then slowly float the body up. Lovely. And then just straighten both legs out. Give them a little wiggle around. Cool. And then we're going to make our way onto our left hand side as we come into our Shavasana. So, as always, keep the knees together, or at least as close together as possible, and then onto our left. So if you want, you can use, well, you know you can use anything, but as a suggestion, something underneath the head. If you prefer harder surfaces though, that I know some of you do, use a book or a block underneath the head just to keep the neck nice and long. Maybe a cushion between the knees, maybe a blanket. And we're just going to settle down where you feel really nice and comfortable. So just start finding that steady, effortless, and a gentle pattern of breathing. Take a nice big yawn. Release the jaw, the throat, and the teeth. And allow there to be a very small space between the top teeth and the bottom teeth, and between the top and the bottom lip. Just enough of a gap that you might imagine a tiny piece of tissue paper held between them. Such a small gap between the lips and the teeth that it is practically invisible. Breathe in through the nose and breathe out through those slightly parted lips. Feel a fine, cool breeze passing out between the lips, the cheeks, Lips and the face are relaxed. No pursing of the lips. They are soft. Feel breath traveling in through the nose and out through the mouth. And allow the breath to be so fine that it feels as if a fine golden thread is spinning out between the lips. It's a thin golden thread, like embroidery yarn, smooth and silky, spinning out with every exhalation. Allow each exhalation to lengthen without forcing, but simply letting the out breath increase in length as the golden threaded breath spins out into the air in front of you. With each inhalation, allow for breath to go in through the nose and feel the breeze of exhalation traveling between the lips into the air in front of your closed eyes. And at the end of this golden thread, carry the mental attention further and further away with each exhalation. As soon as you're ready, start bringing that golden thread closer back to you, envisioning the space that you are within right now. Listening out for any information that your body and that your baby is giving you, any movement. And when you are ready, just take some gentle movement and then bring yourself to a seated position of your choice, unless you feel way more settled lying down and you just want to stay there the rest of the day, then that's fine. And once you get there, just give the shoulders a roll, maybe the neck a rock from head from side to side. Reaching the arms up on an inhale, kissing the hands through to prayer. And as you breathe out, guide your prayer to your heart space. Breathing in love from your heart to your prayer. And as you breathe out, guide your prayer, sending that love down to your baby. Thanking your baby and thanking yourself for both being here today to practice this together, for being on this journey unalone, guiding the love from your baby back to your heart space through your prayer. From my heart to all of your hearts, may be safe, happy, healthy, and peaceful. Namaste. Thank you, ladies.